The alien king offered him gold. He pointed at the girl chained for 200 years and said, "Her." The throne room glittered with impossible wealth. Gold veins ran through obsidian walls, jewels brighter than suns dangled from crystalline chandeliers, and rivers of molten silver pulsed through channels carved into the black floor. At the center sat the alien king, his frame towering, his carapace gleaming like a god forged of diamond and steel. His multifaceted eyes studied the lone human brought before him, this scavenger from a broken ship who had somehow wandered into the heart of the Empire's forbidden citadel. "You have trespassed into the domain of the Zyrath," the king's voice thundered, translated by machines that buzzed in the chamber. "By our law, you should be executed." Yet, one clawed hand gestured. Piles of gold and gems shimmered into view. "Your bravery amuses me. Take riches beyond your comprehension, human. Take them and leave." The human, Kalen, stood still. Dirt and blood clung to his clothes, his boots worn thin from years of wandering. He looked past the gold, past the jeweled thrones and alien guards, to the far-shadowed wall. There, bound in chains of glowing crystal, was a girl. She was human, or something close enough. Pale as moonlight, her hair cascading in silver tangles, her eyes half closed as though lost in a dream. Chains ran from her wrists and ankles into the floor, humming with power older than the palace itself. "How long has she been there?" Kalen asked. The king's mandibles clicked in amusement. 2 centuries. She is a relic. A prisoner of war from an age your people no longer remember. She breathes only because our magic wills it. Why do you look upon her?" Kalen did not hesitate. He raised a hand, pointing not at the treasure, but at the chained girl. "Her." The king's laughter. The chamber fell silent. Then the alien king laughed, the sound echoing like shattering glass. "You spurn gold, jewels, immortality itself, for her." The king leaned forward, his colossal form bending like a mountain shifting. "She is nothing but a ghost of history. Broken. Powerless. A living fossil. Why waste your one wish on her?" Kalen's gaze never wavered. "Because no one deserves to be left in chains for 200 years. If you're offering me anything I want her freedom." The king's laughter stopped. His compound eyes narrowed. "Interesting. The bargain." The guards stirred, their spears humming with plasma, but the king lifted a claw and silenced them. "You humans are ever strange," he said slowly. "Very well. Freeing her shall be your prize. But know this, you claim responsibility for what you release. Her fate becomes yours." The crystal chains cracked. Lightning arced, and with a thunderous crack, they shattered into shards that dissolved into nothing. The girl fell forward, yet before she touched the ground, Kalen caught her in his arms. Her skin was cold, her breath faint. But when her eyes fluttered open, a faint glow shimmered in them, as if stars were waking inside. "Who are you?" she whispered. "Someone who chose you," Kalen said. "The awakening." The king watched, unblinking. "You have made your choice. Now bear its weight." The girl stirred, and with each breath, the air in the chamber changed. The molten silver rivers pulsed brighter, the jewels above flickered, and the very walls groaned. Chains were not just holding her, they had been suppressing her. The guards shifted uneasily. The king's voice lowered. "Ah, so she was not forgotten after all. She is one of the Elindra, the last of her kind, the ancients who stood against us when the stars still burned bright. No wonder we bound her." The girl rose unsteadily, leaning against Kalen. Her silver hair floated as though in water, her eyes glowing stronger now. "You should not have freed me, human. They kept me here for a reason." Kalen tightened his grip. "Then let me share that reason. Whatever it is, you won't carry it alone anymore." For the first time in 200 years, she smiled. The trial. The alien king stood, towering high above them. His voice cracked like thunder. Very well. If you would claim her, prove yourself. Survive her awakening, or die by it. The floor split open. From the depths rose constructs of molten iron and living flame, guardians of the Zyra throne. They marched forward, weapons blazing. The girl's glow flared. Power erupted from her hands in waves of silver light, obliterating the first wave of constructs. But the effort nearly brought her to her knees. Kalen caught her again. You're weak. Don't force it. We'll fight together. He drew nothing but a scavenger's blade, dented and dull. Against creatures of living fire, it was useless. Yet still he charged, weaving between their strikes, striking where their armor thinned, buying her time to gather strength. Every slash burned him, every impact tore at his bones, but he smiled through the pain. You really are insane, the girl whispered, power crackling in her hands. Yeah, Kalen grinned, blood on his teeth. But I don't regret it. Together they struck. Light and steel, human courage and ancient power. One by one, the guardians fell. The king's judgment. When the last construct collapsed into ash, the king rose to his full height. His eyes burned with alien fire. You succeed. Against all reason, you succeed. Perhaps that is what makes your kind dangerous. The chamber shook as he stepped down from the throne. The ground cracked beneath his weight. His voice softened, almost wistful. She was meant to remain forgotten. But perhaps the stars themselves wished otherwise. Very well, human. She is yours. Take her from my domain. He turned, his vast shadow retreating into the darkness. But remember this, what you have freed is not only a girl. She is a storm. And storms do not choose where they break. Beyond chains. Later, when the palace lay behind them and the stars stretched endless above, Kalen and the girl stood in silence on a cliff of black stone. You should have taken the gold, she said softly. He chuckled, though his wounds ached. Gold doesn't smile back. Besides, 200 years is long enough for anyone to sit alone in the dark. She looked at him, truly looked, and for the first time in centuries, warmth touched her eyes. My name is Serenia, she whispered. Kalen, he replied. And from now on, you're free. The chains of crystal were gone. But the bond between them, forged in that throne room of gold and shadows, was something no king could break. Together, they stepped into the unknown. And in the distance, the stars themselves seemed to stir, as though waiting for the storm to awaken.